Cyril Ramaphosa is expected to conduct a site visit at the Giyani Bulk Water Project in Limpopo today. Ramaphosa, accompanied by Minister of Water and Sanitation Senzo Mchunu, will inspect the project to assess progress made thus far. Initiated back in 2014, the project is aimed at addressing water scarcity and to ensure a consistent and reliable water supply in the area. They will also engage with community members. The President will visit the Nandoni Dam and the Nandoni-Nsami pipeline. Let's get you more detail. We are now joined by Newzroom Africa's Govan Whittles. He's at the Nandoni Dam, and that is in Giyani. Good morning to you, Govan. And so, has the pipeline been finished yet?
No, it hasn't been finished yet, Dudu, and they still have a few more kilometers to go. At the last update, the Minister of Water and Sanitation, Senzo Mchunu, saying that they have about 2 more kilometers to lay down. They stopped the work after there was a dispute with some of the traditional leaders in the area about the pipeline going through their lands. But this area where we are right now, and specifically the Giyani Bulk Water Project, has been described as an embarrassment to the state. It's a project that initially started as 500 million rand cost, and it's since inflated to 3.5 billion rand and again to 4.5 billion rand. This project is under investigation by the Special Investigating Unit that found that some of the contracts awarded to the companies were done so irregularly, and that included LTE Consulting. At a certain point, the company Kato Civils, that was appointed to do the civil works on the pipeline, put up the treatment plant and then essentially lay down the canals that would eventually provide this water to the villages, pulled out because of the squabbles with the Department of Water and Sanitation. So this pipeline and this project is meant to benefit at least 250,000 people. They live in villages mostly around Malamulele, but in the greater Giyani area as well, and they're still waiting on water. Just to put it plainly, these are people who still don't have access to water in their backyards. They have to walk each day with a bucket, the 25 liters, to go and fill up at the government allocated point. Sometimes those taps run dry for up to 3 weeks. Then they have to buy water from the people with boreholes, paying up to 5 rand for 25 liters. And this project continues to be plagued by delays. Right now, you'll see in frame the Nandoni Dam, and this is exactly what the President will be looking at today. It's the treatment plant where he will see the progress that's been made in setting up a raw water pipeline from this dam to feed the Nsami Dam, and also try to essentially help those dams get more water so that the water could get to different points in the area. But this is a project with promises that have been unfulfilled. Earlier this year, the Minister of Water and Sanitation, Senzo Mchunu, said that they'd be done by September. Then he said that they would be resuming construction again in November after there was that disagreement with the tribal authorities. Now it looks like they say that they'll be done just before the end of the year, and then the water will start flowing towards the villages that have not had water and essentially still have to line up. But it's clear now that we're here on site that there are many delays due to. Just take a look at this now. We're showing you the wall of the dam. A little bit later we hope to give you footage of the dam. But what's interesting about this view is the fact that a number of these pipes that were meant to be used over the years have just started laying around here. They've been discarded essentially close to the construction site. A little bit further out of frame, beyond the blue pipes, you'll see in the background there are other pipes which were made of concrete, which essentially are gathering dust here and haven't been used. This project's been started since 2014, so the delays have been quite significant. And there is a lot of pressure on the President and the Water and Sanitation Minister to deliver here.
So disappointing. What did the SIU find in probing the corruption linked to that project?
An interesting finding from the SIU was that the contract awarded to LTE Consulting was done so irregularly, and they estimated that the money that was essentially lost because of that is more than R1 billion. Interestingly, the head of the Lepelle Northern Water Board had said that he was instructed by the then Minister of Water and Sanitation, Nomvula Mokonyane, to award that contract, saying that he has evidence to that effect. Of course, the SIU hasn't formally charged anyone, but they are taking this matter to the special tribunal. It's been there for quite a while. There's no politicians that have been charged in this case. They've only been water affairs or water board officials, specifically from the Lepelle Northern Water Board. But the President and the Minister of Water and Sanitation are expected to give an update on the people that have been held accountable for that irregular appointment of those companies, but also since then what they've managed to do to recoup some of that money.
What's the significance of the President's visit there, and I guess especially directed at the people who still have to buy water from people who have boreholes, him and the Water and Sanitation Minister Senzo Mchunu?
Well, we can't escape the fact that the ANC conference is coming up at the end of next week, and we need to look at the significance politically around the President choosing to conduct this site visit on Sunday just before the conference starts. To put it into perspective, Dr. Zweli Mkhize and the former Premier of the Eastern Cape, Phumulo Masualle, who's been described as Dr. Zweli Mkhize's running mate, were yesterday engaging with ANC branches in KwaZulu-Natal. That, of course, being seen to be a stronghold for Dr. Mkhize ahead of this conference. And now we see the President engaging in a community meeting this afternoon alongside the Water and Sanitation Minister Senzo Mchunu, who just 3 days ago showed up on the CR22 social media pages as being a potential deputy president candidate. A lot of people talking about him being raised from the floor, but we do know he's a strong ally of the President. And the President similarly appearing in public alongside his allies as he seeks to consolidate his position towards conference. We know the President's position is consolidated. There's much debate about whether or not candidates will be raised from the floor for the position of Deputy President in the form of Senzo Mchunu, but also Treasurer General in the form of Cyril Ramaphosa, who's seen to be endorsed by the President for the Treasurer General's position. So this close to conference, we've got to keep a close eye on who these leaders are appearing with, what they're saying on public platforms once they're with each other, and that'll give us a stronger indication of what their supporters might do and what they might do when the conference begins on Friday.
Govan Whittles out in Limpopo for us. Thank you. We'll touch base with you a little bit later on.